And when I was young, boy, people used to say there will be music in every house. People used to be amazed because back in the days, especially growing up in a village in Pakistan, people couldn't even afford radios. And there used to be a few radios in our village. And when we used to go back to Pakistan to visit, my father used to take a radio, as a special present for the family so that they can listen to news and so on. And people used to gather around to listen to BBC London. And they used to say, where are you from? It's London. Oh, BBC London. They used to think London is BBC London. Allahu Akbar. And now people have music, not in every house. In every masjid people have music. You know how? Did I tell you? The brother is showing you. Just when we were praying, one brother's mashallah went, and not music in every masjid in Europe, music in haram in front of the Kaaba. Those of you been to Hajj, I'm sure you would have heard. People making tawaf with their phones and going on with James Bond music in haram, in front of the Kaaba, in front of the noble grave of Rasulullah. People carry their phones and Allahu Akbar. They don't have the courtesy to change the tone to a simple tone or put it on silent. They sit in the masjid of Rasulullah in front of his graves and they listen to music. Allahu Akbar. And you tell the people, but does anybody want to listen? Does anybody want to listen? How many of us know that this is not right, but we deliberately choose to set these provocative and lunatic tunes on our phones when it could be a very simple one. Many brothers have nice tunes, mashallah. In fact, ulama, they say, don't have Quran on your phone as a tune, because if somebody rings you and your phone responds by playing the Quran, when Quran is played, you have to listen to it. But if you have a Quran playing as your tone, then you switch it off. So it's not advisable to even have a Quran, according to some people, as your ringing tone. Have a simple tone. You need a tone, but why have the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba? Have a simple tone on your phone, because you know you'll be coming to the masjid. It could go off and then you'll be bringing music in the house of Allah. But do people care? How many of you got these tones now? And I bet you won't change. And I bet you won't change. Even 70-year-old men, what music do they want to listen? But a Buddha, mashallah, Baba Buddha, he will have a musical tone on his phone, I can guarantee you. Allahu Akbar. People, وَزَهَرَتِ الْقَيْنَاتُ وَالْمَعَازِفِ. And this isn't funny. This isn't funny. This is so severe. We don't understand its severity, but it's severe. Singing, dancing, music. رُفِعَتِ الْأَصْوَاتُ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. Masajid are the houses of Allah. Are the houses of Allah. And when people come to masajid, they should fear Allah. When people go to a court, you know, a court, when there's a problem with the law, you go to a court. Doesn't matter who, he'll make sure he even takes the battery out of his phone. But when he comes to the masjid, the music is still on, people don't care. People argue, they laugh, they joke. In the masjid is a house of Allah. أَحَبُّ الْبُقَاءِ إِلَى اللَّهِ مَسَاجِدُهَا شَرُّ الْبُقَاءِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَسْوَاقُهَا. The worst places in the eyes of Allah are the marketplaces. The dearest in the eyes of Allah are the masajid. And yet people have the nerve, when they come to masjid, they laugh and they joke, and they are not conscious and aware this is the house of Allah. When children bring their friends home, and mashallah, if they start messing around, the mother says, don't bring them back into my house again. Or she says, tell them to keep quiet. We have the audacity. When we come to the masjid, we don't show respect to the house of Allah. If we were to go to a court, we'd be extremely respectful and quiet and well behaved. Shh, quiet. But in the house of Allah, people laugh and they joke. And they bring music in the houses of Allah.